Yeah, now I can copy the link, so probably now I am actually live. So let me. So I'm trying to open this live stream on my phone just to see if it is working. And yeah, seems like it is working because Rupa has joined. Hi Rupa, hi Athar. So I was live and I was speaking probably to myself for 4 minutes, and I was trying to find that live stream on my channel, but I couldn't find it. And I was trying to share the link in the group, but I couldn't get the link as well. So on my tab, I think it was showing me that I'm live, but I wasn't. So I was just speaking to myself for past 4 or 5 minutes. But it's good to know that it is clear now, and hopefully it will stay like this, and we can probably start our conversation where we left off. So yeah, hopefully it will be all better now. So yeah, I'm just waiting for other people to join as well. Hopefully they will have the link and they will be able to find the stream, because I personally am finding it very difficult to find my own stream. What this live stream is about, so it's mostly about data science and things around that, or study abroad. So those kind of things I talk about on my channel. I was doing live Q&A on another session, and usually the thumbnail says it all, but we had some issues, so I had to restart. And when I restarted, I didn't have the option to upload the thumbnail, so it probably just shows the channel's name and logo. So that's why it's probably a bit difficult to understand what this live stream is about. But yeah, it's mostly about data science and study abroad, or tech in general. So now, can you give me a proper difference between MS in AI in US and UK? Let's go first by curriculum, then internship and other things. So in terms of curriculum, I can change the title, yeah, but we were on some other stream, so I just very quickly opened a new stream and didn't have the time to change those things. So Atharv, yeah, let's talk about the curriculum. So I have few friends studying in US, and they took courses like masters in computer science, and very few of them were able to find something specific to data science and AI. But it was, I think, couple of years back, so not sure if in past couple of years they introduced any course related to MS in AI or ML. But in US, the courses are still mostly around computer science. So you will take masters in computer science as a course, and in that course you have flexibility to choose and pick what courses you want to study. So you can either choose data science and AI route, or you can choose software development route. So it's totally up to you, and if you want to take one or the other route, based on that you can choose your subject. So you can choose Python, you can choose JavaScript if you want to do that, and then you can have your math, stats, machine learning, deep learning, all those good stuff. So it is totally up to you how you want to structure your program. You can always have mix of both software development as well as AI, and that's how things are in US. Whereas in the UK, there are very structured courses, so MSc in data science, and all the modules that you will have in your course, they will all be related to uh, data science itself. So obviously you can choose and pick some modules here and there within MSc in AI. For example, if you want to go for natural language processing, or you want to go for computer vision, so you will have some options, but it will still be a lot more defined as compared to what you get in US. So that's the bit of a difference between curriculum. And one other thing that you need to keep in mind is that in US the courses are usually for 1.5 year to 2 years, whereas in the UK it is 1 year. It can be 2 years if you want to go for placement year, but usually all the courses are just 1 year course. So you'll be able to finish the courses a lot more faster in the UK as compared to in US. Other thing that you may need to keep in mind is that in the UK you will be assessed based on your project, and a lot of things are mostly hands-on, whereas in US you still have a lot of exams and pen and paper based assessment, so you may have to go through those things as well. So those are some of the differences that I can think of when it comes to curriculum. And now if we talk about internship, US job market is significantly bigger than UK's job market. But then you also need to keep in mind that there are a lot more number of universities in US, so a lot more students go to US, and because of that, if there are more number of jobs, there are more number of students as well in the job market to find the job. So at the end of the day, I think the ratio of number of jobs and number of students in the job market is still the same. So the competition is going to be relatively same in both the countries. But if you purely talk about the number of jobs or internships, they're definitely more in US. The salary is definitely a lot more higher in US as compared to in UK. So that is again something which you maybe want to be interested in. So yeah, those are some of the things. Based on your chat, I can mention. So yeah, please do let me know if you want any other information or clarification on something. Currently it is saying programming Cradle is live. Yeah, if you just go live without setting any thumbnail or changing any titles, I think that's what it shows. I will probably just change the thumbnail and title after we are done with this live Q&A. For now, I will just keep answering the questions. I'm currently learning JavaScript, I mean full stack development. And seriously, JavaScript, I am a ML Gen AI engineer, and the things are like Python, ML, TL, AI, Gen AI, Power BI, Excel, web scraping, Selenium, Pro. I know all of it, so no, do I need to make my hands dirty on it? Yeah, I think both of them are a bit different. So for full stack development, yes, I think hands down JavaScript is probably the most popular one, and you can argue with TypeScript, but if you know JavaScript, it won't be that difficult to pick up TypeScript. You should be able to pick that up. And even as a data scientist, and I do quite a lot of Gen AI related stuff, I'm still trying to learn JavaScript, because I personally think if I'm able to learn JavaScript, I will have a lot more flexibility to build full end-to-end applications. I can even pick React or Next.js or things like that. So that's why I'm trying to learn JavaScript myself. I can do almost everything in Python and a lot of the frameworks that we have in Python, but I think it would be good for me personally to learn JavaScript as well. So yeah, if you are learning JavaScript for full stack development, then definitely that is a very good thing to do. So TypeScript is the best framework. TypeScript is just another programming language. It is exactly like JavaScript, but it has strict type because, as you might already, you're learning JavaScript now. But yeah, I think by now you might have realized that the data type is very loosely defined in JavaScript, and because of that, sometimes there are a lot of issues when building web applications. So so that's why they introduced TypeScript, where the type is a lot more stricter, or data type is a lot more stricter, and you have to define the variables type. So yeah, if you learn JavaScript, the syntax is going to be very much similar for TypeScript as well. Node is definitely a framework. I won't say that I know Node fully, but it is mostly to handle your backend stuff. So you can spin up a server in Node. It's a lot more easier. You can run your full JavaScript based or TypeScript based applications for testing purposes and things like that on Node. So when you say full stack development, and you also mentioned JavaScript, so I assumed that you might be talking about MERN stack. So when I say MERN, it is MongoDB, E for Express.js, R for React.js, and last is N, which is Node.js. So those things. But these days, I think Next.js is becoming a lot more popular as compared to React. So I would say instead of R, you can be like MENN. So yeah, I would recommend going for Next.js. But again, I'm not proficient full stack web developer, so I would recommend checking out some other advice as well, people who are in web development for a very long period of time. But from my personal experience and research, I think Next.js is a lot more popular these days as compared to React. Manu, you said right that in USA, like MS in AI, that is the thing I am saying, bro. So do I need to learn JavaScript? You don't need to learn JavaScript, Athar, but if you can learn JavaScript, it will definitely help you to build some really large scale applications. And that's where I personally feel like I need to improve a bit, because I can build a lot of applications like the backend of the application in Python. Even front end, I can use things like Flask or Django and things like that. But still, if you want to have really good UI and really flexible UI, knowing JavaScript definitely helps, and that's why I'm trying to learn JavaScript. So to answer your question, you don't need to learn JavaScript, but if you can, that would be really helpful. Do you have any idea about Cardiff City in terms of job opportunities and living cost? I've never been to Cardiff, but when I was applying for jobs, I did see quite a lot of job postings within Cardiff. So from that alone, I could say I think the number of jobs are definitely there. And in terms of expenses, I don't think it should be extremely expensive when compared to obviously London. But when compared to Manchester, Bristol, and those kind of cities, I think it will be at par with those cities, or maybe even a little less expensive. So I think it is a good city to live in. In terms of number of jobs, I personally saw quite a lot of jobs in that city, and I did apply to number of jobs there. JavaScript is a little bit forgiving language, but TypeScript is strict, right? Yep, that's correct. What about Next or React? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think Next is a bit popular now. There might be some other framework in a couple of years time, because every other year they keep bringing one new front end framework. But I think Next is a lot more stable, and a lot of people are liking it, especially the front end developers. So I think Next should be the choice. But as I mentioned, you should do a little bit more digging and research, because they both have their own pros and cons. So maybe do a bit of a search, next.js or Next versus React. You should be able to find a lot of good videos on YouTube. I have planned of learning Mongo Node Next React. Yeah, that should be good. I have leaved Express for now. That is fine. Yeah, I mean, if you are able to cover the things that you mentioned, I think you'll be in a very good position. Sorry. If there is a situation where one has received an offer from company A and they are waiting for results for company B, how long can they wait before accepting and signing contract with company A? So usually they do mention that you have probably a week or two to sign the contract. If you don't, they probably revoke your offer. So usually it is just mentioned in that email itself. What I have seen is from the offers that I had, I think usually they give you a week time. Sometimes I've seen 2 weeks, but that's very less common. So they give you a week's time to sign the contract or accept the contract, or accept the offer. Sorry. I have decided to give 180 days of time span to learn all of these things, including traditional JavaScript and HTML, CSS, and GitHub. I agree that nowadays of time span is less to master all of these stack, but I have planned of mastering the basics of all the three technologies can achieve. I think you have set up a very realistic timeline and expectations as well. As you mentioned, it is very difficult to master all of them in 180 days, but it is definitely possible to pick up these skills and start building some full-fledged applications. And if you're able to do that in 180 days, I think that's a very good achievement. And once you know how things work and how to build things, that's when you can start digging into some of the nitty gritty and behind the scenes working of these technology, because that's how I personally like to learn. When I'm learning about a new machine learning algorithm or any other new framework or programming language, first I try to learn the basics, and then I try to implement some projects, and I try to bring things to life. And when I see things coming to life and they are actually working, that's when I know, okay, fine, now I know how to build things. Now I need to know how these things are actually working under the hood. And that's when I start to dig much deeper into those things. So, and it works quite well for me, and that's how I'm able to learn a lot of the complex stuffs. So yeah, if that works for you, then I think that's a very good plan. Can we back out and go to another offer after signing the contract with one company, before or after joining? Before or after joining? Before or after joining? I don't think you will be able to. Well, when you join a company, you will be in probation anyways for first 6 months. For most companies, there might be 3 month probation for some companies, there might be 1 year probation for some companies, but for most companies it's 6 months. So during probation, the main goal for you and the company is to test each other and see if it is working for you or not. So if you join a company and you have been working there for, let's say, a month or so, and then you got another offer from some other company and you think that offer is a lot better than your current one, you can always say that no, this company is not working for me, I think I need to move to the other one, and you'll be perfectly fine, and there's nothing wrong in it, and you should be able to do it. So after joining you can do it, yes, and obviously you can do it before joining as well. So if you have signed a contract, you can always say that I have received another offer, and I would like to accept that offer and join that company. So you should be able to do it because I had done that for uh, some of the companies that I had offer from. So I have done it in the past and it is perfectly fine. So today is day 12. I have completed HTML. I am also trying to share everything I learned on YouTube and other social. That's good. Yeah, I mean, you should always share what you're learning. So all the best, and I hope you're able to achieve your goal, what you have set in next 180 days. Bro, so as of now, I know this thing and don't need it in my real work now. So, like, I know this Python ML and all those things using Selenium or regular expressions. So, should I learn JavaScript? Like, I know. Um, you know quite a lot of things as you mentioned there, so you already know Python, machine learning, deep learning, and all those important stuff that is required for a data scientist. So I think you have some time, so definitely you can learn JavaScript, um, and maybe see if it is something of your interest after learning JavaScript. May because learning a programming language won't take much time because you already know programming language, and I think you have been in the world of programming for some time now. So picking up a new programming language shouldn't take that long. So maybe learn that and also try to look into some of the frameworks and see if that helps. And try to build some front end using that and back end using your Python and see if you're liking. I'm not saying that make a very nice animated front end and all those things. Just make something without much fancy stuff, just something that works, basic UI and all those things, and see if that is something you enjoy. If you enjoy building those things, then you can start learning things like CSS and all those things, and other front end framework. So yeah, I would say if I was in your position, I would learn JavaScript, yes, but your situation can be completely different. So I'm speaking from my personal perspective and putting myself in your shoes. I would definitely learn JavaScript. Considering if considering if someone plans to move back to India in a few years, 5-10 years, then which role is more suitable? A more technical role in a lesser known company or a lesser technical role within a brand company? That's a very good question. So there are different ways of looking at it. If you go to a company which is not that big and they probably have just branch in the UK, and you join that and it's a very technical role, you will certainly learn a lot more things, build a lot more skills, and when you decide to move back to India, I think when you apply for jobs, you'll be able to find and crack interviews relatively easily as compared to working in a much bigger company with less technical role. So that is there. But the other thing is, if the company is a lot bigger and you're working in the UK in that company, and if you want to move back to India after a certain number of years working in that company, you can maybe just ask them for a transfer, and if they are happy to transfer you to India, and if they have offices in India, you don't really need to find a new job, go through interview process and things like that. You can just easily get a transfer. So they both have their pros and cons. Obviously, the first one sounds more uh, let's say less risky, is because, well, it can also be risky. The reason I said less risky is because you'll be learning quite a lot of things and you will gain a lot of knowledge, and everything is in your hand. You can find a new job. Whereas in a big company, if you join that company, and you'll be learning there as well, but then you're relying too much on the company to give you a transfer to India, and then start working there. So here you are probably relying a bit on your luck, but then there is luck factor in small company as well. What if the company is not doing very well and they decide to, I hope it doesn't happen, but lay you off, then you will be in a job market anyways to find another job and all those things. So they both have their pros and cons. Depends on how you wanna see it and what is more valuable for you, having more stability or just learning new thing. So yeah, I think that's how I would assess those scenarios. Hello, big man, sir. Shout out. Come on, guys, give this guy hurt. He is giving the tutorials. Thanks, Angela Multan. If I have said your name wrong, please forgive me. But thanks for your comment. So by learning regular expression, I know HTML, but no such as JavaScript learned. And while learning Selenium, I know when data is in JavaScript, we use Selenium. That is the catch, bro. So do I need to? If I talk purely from data science perspective and AI ML perspective, where you are just trying to develop some algorithms and trying to extract information out of data using different tools and techniques like Gen AI or traditional machine learning or deep learning algorithms. In that case, no, you don't really, even for automation, you don't really need to learn JavaScript. But if you want to productionize those things, and when I say productionization, I mean building a proper application with front end, not just deploying it in AWS or Azure. So if you want to make a proper front end, a fully working application, in that case, I would recommend learning JavaScript. So yeah, that would be my advice. Because in India, there is a want for brand name, unlike here. So I asked my previous question. The less technical role I mentioned is a bit towards consulting. If that changes anything in your answer. Um, no, I personally don't think I would change anything. Uh, because when I was working in Infosys, I had some of the people joining the company. So there were people, I mean, people joining at a bit of a senior role. So either, uh, I forgot the roles that we used to have, technical analyst and lead developer or lead team lead, something like that, TL, yeah, team lead. So they joined those kind of roles, and people were coming from a lot of different backgrounds. Some people were coming from some other countries, they had on sites and all those things, and some people were from within India, and some people were coming from big companies, some people were coming from smaller companies. So I don't think they had like a massive advantage or disadvantage coming from one or the other side. So yeah, I would say um, I personally won't change anything that I said in the previous answer. I will still stick to whatever you feel is right today. So if you personally like being in a lot more of a technical role, in that case, I think going for a more technical role would be better. But if you think you want to gradually move towards managerial role, which you will move eventually anyways, even if you take more technical skills now, but you'll be a much stronger from your technical aspects. um, I would suggest maybe going for consulting role will be a lot better. And when you take a consulting role, I think you will improve your communication and stakeholder management skills a lot more as compared to your core technical skills. But when you go for a technical role, there you will be solving a lot more technical problems, so you will be improving your technical skills and probably less on your soft skill side of things. So whichever you feel like you want to improve, I think based on that you can choose one or the other. Sorry, bro, I am hitting for like AI and ML and Gen AI roles and go for MS in AI, so I said Java. um, I don't think my answer changes much here as well. Other, the short answer is no, you don't need JavaScript, but it's a good to have programming language. So if that answers your question, it's just a good to have programming language, let's put it that way. So if you don't want to have anything else like good to have, that's fine, you can just completely ignore JavaScript. So you don't really need JavaScript to be an AI or ML engineer. Oops. You're welcome, Samita. All right, we are almost about to reach 1 o'clock, and we have done like 3 sessions today, which was quite funny. A lot of technical challenges, but hopefully, I was able to answer your questions. We still have like 4 more minutes, so I will be happy to answer few more questions if we have any. If not, then we will call it a day. And as always, I really enjoy talking to you guys here. It's fun, and I hope I'm able to help you guys with your questions. Past couple of weeks weren't very good. I've been getting migraine quite a lot, so because of that I couldn't do live Q&A. But I hope I will be all right, and I will be able to do these live Q&As more consistently. The technical role is about data wrangling and analysis, not data science yet, and the consulting role is about transformation around AI ML in legacy system. Yeah, so um, if I was in your position, Soumita, I think, well, I'm also looking at my past experience and skills as well. So I personally don't have a lot of issues in data wrangling, data analysis, because I have done quite a lot of it, and I already have quite a lot of experience around those things. And lately, I have been gaining a lot of experience on the second thing, which is consulting role, transforming um, transformations around AI ML, those kind of things. I've been doing those things these days, and I'm learning quite a lot of things. So if I was in your situation, I would go for the second one, which is consulting role. I don't know exactly how comfortable you are with your data wrangling, data analysis sort of things. If you feel like you already have sufficient skills and you are in a good position to maybe level up your game to more consulting sort of things, I would suggest going for the second one. But I would let you decide and choose where you are in your career, and based on that, make the decision. So, what do you think as a long term career, where UK or US? So in US they have made this H1B visa very expensive, I think. Well, I heard a lot of news. I haven't looked at it in a much deeper way. Not sure if they have reduced the price or not, but it's just absurdly expensive. So it is, if not impossible, it is definitely next to impossible um, to work in US. So that makes it very difficult to work there. On the other hand, in the UK, the government is trying to do kind of similar things here as well. They are making things a lot harder for immigrants to come and work. So nothing is confirmed yet. There are a lot of different parties. They are trying to impose a lot of different type of rules. So I would assume in next couple of years, I think it will be the same case here in the UK as well. So both of these countries have disadvantages. So what I would recommend is, if you have like set priorities, let's say salary, location, um, ease to get PR and things like that, put those things on one sheet of a paper side by side, and then see which one has more weightage for you, and which one works out well for you. We can also put climatic condition and weather pattern, things like that. So I personally would do that. So if you ask me, I would say for now UK is still better as compared to US, but for you things can be a lot more different. So yeah, I would say put all those things down on a paper side by side, give them score from 1 to 5, 1 to 10, however you like, and then see which one comes on top. And if you want to discuss, we can discuss this in next um, live Q&A as well once you have done this activity, because that way you will be able to decide for yourself rather than just taking my word. So for me, for now, UK is still a lot better as compared to US, but in a couple of years time it may not be the case. So yeah, I would say doing that activity is going to be very helpful for you. All right, it is 1 o'clock. So I hope I was able to answer your questions, and sorry for the technical challenges that we faced today. I hope to get things set up for next session, and I will be back to my usual setup with camera and everything. So hopefully we won't have these many technical challenges. Yeah, let's meet next Saturday, Athar. It was really good talking to all of you guys, and I hope I was able to answer your questions and was able to be of much help. So I will see you guys. Sorry, my throat isn't looking very good. So yeah, I will see you guys next Saturday. Have a good weekend. Happy learning. Bye.